Russell and Jamie Franklin.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mardies!
Incredible stuff. And amazing to hear George live.
Yeah, that was the voice of the podcast right at the beginning. Slightly lower voice now that he's croaked out.
It's croaked out a bit. It's croaked out a bit.
I tried to keep him young, but it didn't work. Right. Throughout the rest of this whole podcast, if Jamie and I ever say the Interplanetary Podcast, you've got to all shout.
Response.
You've got to all shout out what? Okay, we'll try it again, but this time slightly with a bit more conviction this time. Right, here we go. The Interplanetary Podcast.
Putting the ace back into space!
Woo! You know, I quite like a bit of emphasis on the back. Can we try that one more time? It's the Interplanetary Podcast.
Putting the ace back into space!
Now we're rocking.
Now we are rocking. So here we are. We are in Arthur C. Clarke House. Jamie's going to read the wise words of the man himself.
If man survives for as long as the least successful of the dinosaurs, those creatures whom we often deride as nature's failures, then we may be certain of this. For all but a vanishingly brief instant near the dawn of history, the word ship will mean spaceship.
Spaceship.
Arthur C. Clarke. Sir Arthur C.
Sir
Clarke.
Arthur C. Clarke. So yes, Arthur C. Clarke would have been 100 years old, the same as the podcast is in episodes.
Yeah, episodes.
Okay, so that's good, right? So
years.
born 16th.
We're looking good for it.
Yeah, he's all right. So he'll be 101 in 16th of December in this year, he'll be 101. He was born in 1917. There's me fluffing my lines. Okay, so he joined the BIS in 1934. That's how old.
34.
The oldest space advocacy society in the entire world. And you're sitting here right now, breathing in the history. We reckon that Arthur C. Clarke touched this. Right, there we go. So I'm now got a bit of DNA.
Yeah, there was all talk of some kind of, Jurassic Park scenario, but we won't go there quite yet.
So he joined, but by 1946, he'd become the chairman. Yes, the chairman. And he did that for a year, and then did it again 1951 to 1953. But what he's most famous for, in some ways, other than his ridiculously ace science fiction, i.e. 2001, A Space Odyssey, The Sentinel, etc., 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 he's quite famous for this. Space Word of the Week. What is the Space Word of the Week this week, Jamie?
Matt, it's only geostationary transfer orbit.
Whoa, no.
There's three words, but...
Just geostationary orbit.
Should we just take that?
No, geostationary orbit. That's what I'm going
Now, hands up. I know this isn't good for a podcast, but hands up who knows what this is. Oh, God. I asked that in the wrong building, didn't I?
Yeah, the
It's
geostationary...
weird, because I asked that in the pub last night. No one knew it.
Really?
Weird.
Well, they're not Arthur C. Clarke fans,
Yeah,
are they?
that's true.
Get this. He's so associated with the geostationary orbit, which he popularised. He didn't actually invent it. It had sort of come up a few times, but he kind of popularised it and said, do you know what? We could put communication satellites up. And not only that, communication satellites are up in this bizarre bit where, you know what an orbit is? As you sort of go round the Earth, you're falling at the same rate that the Earth is curving away from you. But there has to be a point where you're falling at exactly the same rate that the Earth's rotating underneath you. So you stay, if you look at that little picture, you stay in the same spot as it goes over. And that's known as geostationary orbit.
Look at those graphics.
Also known... yeah, this is...
Is this 8K, man?
No, we're living in the
8K?
future. This is it. We are living in the future. The future that Arthur C. Clarke predicted, Jamie.
He did, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. So, yes... It's called the Clarke Belt, and it's exactly 35,786 kilometres, which is what in miles, Jamie?
Oh, I'm just going to hazard a guess at 22,236.
Yeah, it's about that.
No notes in front of me.
So, does anyone know what the first satellite placed into geostationary orbit was? Jerry, you know.
Come on, Jerry.
It is Syncom! Oh my God.
As if you're surprised. As if.
What did it launch on?
Probably a Thor Delta.
Delta D. Yes, check that out. Someone knows their raspberries. So yes, so the satellite in a geostationary orbit will have the footprint that looks exactly the same on the ground. So it's one of those really boring satellites that when you go out in your garden at night and see satellites flying over, it doesn't. It just looks like a little tiny star and you wouldn't know any different. Poor, lonely geostationary satellite. So a little bit about where we are right now. There's a little satellite image of the British Interplanetary Society with one of its most famous achievements, which is Daedalus. Daedalus.
Easy for you.
Where's Daedalus? Let's call it Daedalus. So yes, formed in 1933, and I know that there's someone from this town. Formed in Liverpool. Shout out for the Liverpool Massive.
Yes, Chris, that's it.
Yes,
Hand
Chris
up.
Garner, yes.
I hope that's the hardest question you're going to ask.
That's it.
It is. You've
You're
answered
done.
it, right?
You're done.
So, what has the BIS ever done for us? Go on, hit me,
Well,
Jamie.
Matt, in the 1930s, they devised a project of landing people on the moon by multi-stage rocket with a lunar lander, very much like Apollo.
So yeah,
Think of that.
they invented. What I'm trying to say here is they invented space flight,
Pretty much.
pretty much. Not in this building, but the people involved. Right. So, R.A. Smith, and I've mentioned this book that I managed to procure from Amazon for about $5, but which he invented the coelostat, the first navigational mechanism which would cancel out the rotating view. It's the first space instrument ever invented.
My favourite kind of stat.
What else?
Well, they also, Smith also authored and illustrated the 1947 book, The Exploration of the Moon.
Text by,
By Arthur C. Clarke, of course.
which inspired John F. Kennedy and Stanley Kubrick.
Absolutely.
Right? So yeah, absolutely. 1978, the Society published a starship study called Daedalus, and there it is. Daedalus is the first proper study by Alan Bond, who we interviewed earlier on this year. Literally a genius and should be. So he looked at actually flying to another star, in this case Bernard's star, and he devised this. He and the team at the BIS devised how they were going to get it, and that is it. Am I right, Jerry? Am I telling a complete porcupine? No. Am I right? I've you.
No porcupines yet.
Go. What else have they done, Jamie? Come on.
Matt, in the 1940s, the group had planned for a suborbital space flight by converted V2 rocket as Mega Rock.
Mega Rock. Yeah,
That's my kind of rock.
Yeah, that's if only they'd carried on with that, and Britain could have been the first. You know, we could have had our own John Glenn or Yuri Gagarin.
Yeah.
So, yes, there's been loads of things. Basically, the BAS have continually developed space flight over the years. Even to the present day, they're doing stuff right the way up to encouraging government to give us spaceports and stuff like that. So, good on the BIS, and thank you very much, Jill, for letting us be in the BIS. It's literally a privilege. Thank you.
Yes, can we have a round of applause, please, for the British Interplanetary Society?
Okay.
Yay, space, I like that. More shout-outs of that, please.
Well, the Interplanetary Podcast. Right, there's only one other thing that you need to pay attention to, and that is whenever we mention Elon Musk.
Drink.
Yes, drink. It's quite
Doesn't matter
easy,
if it's soft drink, just drink.
such an easy. Yeah, water's fine. It would be once over the age of 16. It must be alcoholic.
Yeah. But
that's
please
like
don't
any
spill
rule.
anything, because we've got quite a lot of wires in this room, haven't we, Matt?
Yeah,
There's lots going
yeah,
on.
and don't spill on the very, very expensive heirlooms like this little fella. So there we go. So that's the Elon Musk drinking game. Pay attention, okay? Right. So what else is celebrating its 100th other than Arthur C. Clarke, the Interplanetary Podcast? It is Ariane 5 flew its 100th flight, and they did this deliberately to as a mark of respect to the podcast.
It's almost like the planets have aligned, isn't it?
Absolutely. Really,
It's so nice of them.
Yeah.
Didn't even ask.
I know. Thank you very much, Issa, for that fitting tribute, sort of Red Arrow styly. Thank you. Right, so we've got our first guest, who I've tricked into coming.
Yeah.
So, will Alicia Mayankar of Mars Nation please make her way?
Please, round of applause, Alicia.
I think we got you on slightly earlier than we said. That's good, isn't it?
Thanks.
Yeah, Alicia thought we were doing a normal podcast after speaking to Matt, and that it was going to be at 4 o'clock. So she's been waiting around for a long time. Thank you very much. Sorry about Matt's
I did
communication.
not know about any of this.
So she's
normal,
not
isn't it?
dressed in like fancy clothes. I did
Yeah, I
say.
forgot my suit.
I'm sure I said. But anyway, we had that bit of confusion over.
Yeah, it's not the time.
So, we've had Alicia on before, and she's been talking about Mars Nation. She looks into really deep issues about what we need to do before we go to Mars. So, what have you been up to this time, Alicia? What have you been up to?
Okay, so does anyone know about Mars Nation, by the way?
That's a good call. For those who don't,
Those out
could you
in the
maybe
internet
just
world,
give us
why
a
not?
brief, what is Mars Nation?
Okay, so Mars Nation is a startup that runs immersive events. And the whole idea is space travel, for some reason, became really boring. And it's all about habituation. You have exactly the same people doing exactly the same thing. And if you have exactly the same thinking coming in, the same ideas come out. So what we decided to do is break the cycle and run events where we brainstorm some of the amazing challenges to space exploration. And we invite beginners. And the reason why we invite beginners is because they really break this habit. They can come up with stuff that experts haven't even thought about, which is really cool. And we make it fun. So
But hang on a minute, you invited me and Matt. We're definitely not beginners, are we, Matt?
No, I mean, I suspect we gave quite a bit of an expert view.
yeah,
You
yeah,
weren't
yeah, you were experts, definitely.
So yeah, I have to say, how enjoyable were those? They were really good.
What do you think?
They were really, really good. It was just that kind of networking with young people, trying to think about all like crazy ideas of all the things.
Well-
What we ended up with
What was your favourite idea?
I think we ended up with an AI seal to keep
Yeah,
the.
this was about mental health in space and how
It's
we
very
look after our
important.
mental health. And I think, a kind of, is it a Tamagotchi type seal?
Yeah, it's what they give.
It's what the kids say,
it's
Matt.
what they
You
give-
wouldn't know.
It's what they give old people in Japanese.
That's
care
right,
homes.
nursing homes. Yeah, it is.
And we
Yeah.
thought it might be good on a space flight.
Yeah,
That was mine and Jamie's
Problem
idea.
solved.
Problem solved. Done.
yeah.
So you
that's
can
right.
go now. So no. So what have what have you been up to? What have you been up to this time?
Okay, so the two most important problems that we've come across are loneliness on Mars and over-socialization. And I spent the last 3 months living under a rock, researching loneliness, the most fun thing ever. And I pretty much deconstructed what loneliness is, which is kind of cool.
Okay, could you give us that in some quick bullet points? What is
All right.
loneliness?
Okay, 3 bullet points.
Okay, give me
Promise.
3.
Okay, so one is actually understanding what loneliness is, because most people try to run away from it, but actually it's like being hungry. It's an evolutionary tool. So it's about accepting it. The second part is about meaningful connections and not superficial stuff. So just to give you an example, in the 80s, if you ask American people if they have anyone to call in the middle of the night to confide and talk about a difficult problem, they said they have 3 people to talk to. And now, 25% of those people say they have 0 people to talk to.
Really?
Yeah.
And what do you put that down to?
Part of it is social media and superficial connections. So the more we spend time on social media, the more we compare ourselves to other people, and the more disconnected we feel.
Oosh. So
Who feels disconnected on social media?
Should we cut the feed?
Yeah.
I don't have any social media.
Oh.
Very lonely.
Oh.
Ah, what? So that's like a double whammy.
£50, please.
Oh wow! Instant charity.
I think he should be our next guest. So, what can we do to combat this, Alicia?
Well, so that's what we're trying to figure out. And in a couple of events we're running Mars Nation, where beginners and experts come in and solve loneliness problems. So we'll talk about all the research, everything we found, and we'll have an amazing neuroscientist from King's talking about the neurological things that happen in your brain while you feel lonely, which is kind of cool. And you'll decide for yourself.
So you mentioned also that over-socialization. What the heck is that?
If you're stuck with people that you don't want to be around with.
Oh, Matt, this is awkward. Should I leave?
This is me. This is what you've done
is
to
this
me.
what's happening right now?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you were lonely outside and now you're being over-socialized. Is that what you're saying?
That's literally it.
Oh. So how do you combat that? So if you've got like a spaceship full of people and they're all feeling over-socialized, what on earth do you do about that?
So, one of the things that's happening at the moment is you really think about who's going to space and you do loads of compatibility tests. So at the moment, it's not much of a problem because the types of people that go to space are extraordinary. You have very skilled pilots and engineers who have been embracing very difficult situations. They've been practicing and training, whereas if you go to Mars, it's going to be people like you and I who are just sick of each other.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about the Dear Moon project a little bit later on. So will those kind of effects kick in on like a short journey like that? I mean, it's like 4 days, but still, it's a confined space with people that aren't like your superhuman Tim Peaks and Alex Gerth and all the rest of them. As in, they've not been picked because of their psychological suitability. Are they gonna freak out? Are they gonna flip out?
Depends on what they're going to do there. What are they going to do?
They're gonna lean out the window and do some painting,
Paint stuff. Yeah.
finger painting.
Think about
Well,
film ideas.
that's a short-term solution, isn't it? Keeping yourself busy. So if it's a couple of days and you run in doing little projects, then you probably don't have time to feel lonely.
That's very true.
So how quickly does loneliness kick in?
Well, it's very
So I'm
individual.
feeling quite lonely now.
Do you? It's because I'm
We're all
here.
with Matt, aren't we?
I feel a bit scared after your over-socialising comment. No. Well, how long does it take to kick in?
Well, it's very individual. So 50% of loneliness is actually genetic, which is quite interesting. And 50% is environmental. So you can train yourself to accept loneliness.
How do you train yourself to accept loneliness? What's your 3 tips for all us lonely space geeks?
Well, first of all, you have to understand what it is.
Right.
You have to understand that it's an evolutionary tool and it was designed for hunter-gatherers to be safe, right? But it's not really a problem anymore. You don't need to be in groups of people to survive. But our monkey brain is still behaving like thousands of years ago. So actually understanding what it is and the fact that everybody here feels lonely sometimes and it's normal, and life is not about chasing happy, joyous moments, but it's the fullness of it. That's actually quite helpful.
And so that applies to sort of deep space flight for like 6 months journey to Mars.
Absolutely, because if you don't know what loneliness is, you're going to be craving for human connections that you left behind.
And does it also coincide with the mental health issue of people missing weather back on Earth, food, and their loved ones?
Right, yeah. But there are some little things that you can do. So, for example, have you heard that recently they had an exhibition of paintings on the space station, and it's the paintings with the green landscapes and blue water, stuff that actually reminds you of the Earth is quite helpful.
And didn't Tim Peake have running programs where he could be running through the Scottish Highlands, and it just made him feel like he was a bit more connected?
Exactly,
No, I
but
like
that's the number one thing they miss.
And food, of course. I think, Matt, if you go 2 days without pizza, you start scratching the walls.
I go crazy.
What would you do? Freeze-dried pizza, I imagine.
Freeze-dried pizza.
Yeah, solved.
Have you seen one of those 3D printed pizzas for space travel?
No. 3D printed pizza.
Who's seen this? Of course, you. Anyone else?
He has, he just wants to.
Wants to put his
Just
hand
wants
up.
to.
Because he's lonely.
Yeah, it's okay. The Interplanetary Podcast is always here for you.
The
I was just making sure you lot were still awake. Half of you are.
I tell you, we haven't mentioned Elon Musk recently, have we?
We haven't.
Yes. I'm out. I need someone to go and get me one.
So, Alicia, what will the research from Mars Nation do? Where will it go?
So we're looking.
Apart from Mars. Clever clogs.
It's the research. That's why it's the research. We don't know where it's
Good.
going to go.
That's true. That's true. Very true. But any ideas?
So we are prototyping loads of different types of solutions for different parts of loneliness. So one is understanding what it is, another one is connections, and the third one is things like embracing loneliness and maybe helping other people, because when you detach yourself from your ego, you connect with others, which is a really interesting way to solve loneliness. So for each of the 3 pillars of what loneliness is, we're designing 3 or 4 solutions and just sticking half-baked ideas in front of people to design fast and iterate.
Oh,
That is quite interesting, because actually Matt's ego, I mean...
Yeah, it's
huge.
literally out of control.
It is out of
Hence
control.
we're doing this.
Yeah, I know. I'm a bit worried, actually. Is this live?
I'm so lonely.
It needs its own room.
Yeah, it needs its own room.
It does.
So when you said it was hereditary, could you actually test for the loneliness gene, and therefore screen people out of a
Ooh,
space
that's
program?
Really good
interesting.
idea, Matt.
I don't think so, because loneliness is so... It's not the literal how many or how little connection you have with other people. It's the perceived feeling. And because it's a perception, it's very hard to quantify.
But you said that it was hereditary, so there may be a gene for it, and therefore you could screen like a whole bunch of astronauts and just know you're not going to space because you get too lonely.
Yeah. But I wonder how you can separate loneliness from all the other stuff in the
Yeah,
gene.
they might be really ace at flying and stuff like that. It'd be so annoying.
Yeah.
So when have you got any Mars Nation events coming up?
Yes, so in a couple of months, November, we haven't got the date yet, but it's all going to be about loneliness.
And whereabouts are you going to hold your...
Here.
Here?
Oh,
That's a bit of a coincidence.
that is a coincidence. Well timed, Matt.
Excellent.
So
And-
do come along.
Alicia, if people want to learn more about Mars Nation, is there a website they can go to?
It is, and it's quite simple. MarsNation.space.
MarsNation.space. Can you have .space? Yeah, you can. Guys, please, big round of applause for Alicia from Mars Nation.
Thank you, Alicia.
Thank you, Alicia.
So here we go. We're going to a little bit of a rundown on a bit of space news. I have to say the Japanese have been absolutely kicking some ass.
They have been killing it.
So yeah, have you been? Who's been following Hayabusa 2? It's been absolutely brilliant. If you don't follow it on Twitter, follow Hayabusa 2 on Twitter because it's doing some amazing things. So those who don't know what Hayabusa 2 is, it's a Japanese spacecraft that's found an asteroid. It hasn't found it. It got launched to it, which is actually amazing. It's this little speck in the middle of the solar system, and it's managed to fly to it and get in orbit around it. And it's called Ryugu, something like that, isn't it? That's right.
Yeah, we said it was very Street Fighter.
Yeah, it was a Street Fighter 2 character. And but this week, or the week that's just passed, it managed to lob a thing down called Minerva 2, which was a canister that opened up, and 2 little rovers, you can see them in that bottom picture there, 2 little rovers splashed out, and they're now on the surface of an asteroid. So that picture on the top has been taken by one of those little round rovers that bounce around. So they haven't got little wheels. What they do is they just kind of whir up a motor because the gravity's so little they can bounce around and take photos. So they're on an asteroid
It's
right now.
quite a feat, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't that amazing? So a round of applause for Hayabusa 2.
Yes.
But even more amazing, so Hayabusa 2, it's done that, but it's got more tricks up its sleeve. It's got another rover, a German rover, tucked in its little belly that it's going to drop down. It's going to
Come
drop
on.
down, and then it's going to release Minerva 2 2 if that's a bit confusing.
Isn't that just 4?
No, because Minerva 1 was on a
So what are you
previous
doing?
Japanese mission, and then Minerva 2 is split into 2 parts, Minerva 2 and Minerva 2-2. But
Good.
Minerva 2-2's got another rover inside that's going to bounce around and take pictures. And then Hayabusa 2 itself will lower itself down to the asteroid, scoop up a little bit of dirt, then it will go back up, and it fires like bullets into the ground, and then
Wow.
blows bits up, scoops as much dirt as it possibly can, and then will fly back to Earth and give us some of the samples off the asteroid.
That is pretty mind-blowing, isn't it?
It's a kick-ass space program. It really is. Well done, Hayabusa 2. So, also in the news this week has been another Japanese space company called iSpace, who have got a launch on a SpaceX, or booked a launch with SpaceX. SpaceX are just going to drop them off in orbit, and then they've got to make their own way to the moon. You might notice that
Hitchhikers.
Yeah, they're hitchhikers. It looks very, very similar to the lunar lander designed by the BIS, if I'm not mistaken. So that design still lives on. That little rover that's popping out the bottom there was part of the X Prize, or based on the X Prize that the same company was working on. So they hope to do that by 2020 and 2021, which is pretty cool, isn't it?
It is going to be a good year, that, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's pretty scary stuff. And then next, still with the Japanese, today, a couple of astronauts on the ISS managed to wrestle a massive HT-7 cargo ship launched from Japan earlier on in the week and drag it onto the space station, which is no mean feat. It must be pretty stressful with a little robot arm grabbing a
It's stressful,
pretty
isn't
heavy object.
it? Yes,
I like
it
to use
is.
the word wrestle and grab.
There they wrestle and grab.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
true. It's true.
The astronauts have to use their own strength. It's not motorised in any way. So it's got fresh batteries on board. Yeah, that's always important.
Double
isn't
A's
it?
or triple?
It's double A's, triple A's,
Yeah, and a 9 volt.
couple of 9 volts.
Yeah.
On board, and the astronauts that are left on board, they were supposed to be a spacewalk, but the ones that were destined to do the spacewalk are going to go home next week, leaving other astronauts to go and do the spacewalk.
You'd be gutted,
aboard.
wouldn't you?
Yeah, a bit annoying, isn't it?
Would be gutted.
So yeah, this space station is going to be left with only 3 astronauts next week: a German, a American, and a Russian.
Sounds like the start of a joke.
Yeah,
If you know one, I mean.
yeah. Does
feel
anyone
free to
know
say
a
it.
German, American? No.
Walk into a bar.
Float into a bar, damn.
Walk into a bar.
And one said, "What do you do if you see a spaceman?"
Go on.
Park in it, man.
Oh,
Right. Anyway, so
so sorry, everyone.
Melati, who was the singer of the band Mardis. Hello, Melati.
Hey, Melati. There she is.
We interviewed her dad, Ben Brahm, because he designed this amazing space telescope called Gaia. And Gaia's been in the news. He was seriously influential in making Gaia even happen. And Gaia is the most incredible piece of gear. And Melati's dad literally was the cool guy that absolutely got it working. So we should...
Let's have a round of applause. Melati's dad, come on. Absolute legends.
But get this for cool. So remember Oumuamua.
Say that once again, Matt.
Oumuamua.
I love that you pronounced the H.
Yes. Oumuamua. Well, I think they missed a trick because Arthur C. Clarke wrote about a story about an interstellar travel almost exactly the same as what happened with Oumuamua.
Convenient.
Convenient, huh? So anyway, Oumuamua came in from... It was the first spotted object from another solar system, and it's that cigar-shaped thing in the right-hand picture there. And very, very clever scientists. From where are they from? I'm sure I've put this in my notes. Balla and Jones et al. Have written a paper for the Astrophysics Journal, and they reckon that they've narrowed down 4 possible solar systems, possible homes that Oumuamua came from, which I think is absolutely incredible. As in, from all the billions of stars in the galaxy, they think that they've nailed it down to a possible 4 candidates.
That is pretty incredible.
Yeah. And not only that, Gaia has been in the news again because it's managed to kind of capture a ripple in our own galaxy where we've had a close encounter with another galaxy, and it's sent a little shockwave through the galaxy.
Like Tom Cooper.
Yeah, it's a shockwave. And it's managed to capture that. So a couple of things out of all the data that's pouring out of Gaia is in the news. So that's pretty cool.
Does anyone remember the chocolate bar called Ripple? It's good, wasn't it? You just reminded me of that. We're about to speak about Milky Way and then galaxy.
Galaxy.
Mars. Can we think of anything else?
Spira.
Spira.
Mars.
I don't remember that one.
Was there ever a chocolate bar called Comet?
Comet? No, I don't think so.
You must remember the Hamuamua.
It's one of my favourites. Yeah, I couldn't eat a whole one.
So yeah, that's...
It wasn't chocolate, it was cigars.
Good.
Ah. It was a reissue.
He's
Right.
sharing them to make you less lonely. There you go.
So we've got another guest now.
We have.
We've got Kate, who we had interviewed. Where is Kate? Is she around? Where's she gone? She's in the back there. She's talking, nattering away.
It's all right.
We got her up. We got her up. So yes.
Please welcome Kate. Hello, Kate.
Hey there.
Well, firstly, thank you for coming. And can you explain to people who you work for, what you do?
All right, it's complicated, but basically,
They can handle it.
The latest thing is that I was participating in an analog mission as a crew medical officer, and we were pretending to be on the moon for 2 weeks. So that's the latest one.
And how did that work? What were you doing to pretend that you were on the moon for 2 weeks?
Okay, so first of all, we were in isolation. So no sunlight, it was a confined space. So in size, it was about the same as ISS, well, roughly. So it wasn't a lot of space. We lived all together, there were 5 of us. We did everything together. We didn't know each other beforehand, so it was an interesting experience in team dynamics. We ate lyo food, which is freeze-dried food, like the astronaut kind of thing, which we had to rehydrate.
How was that?
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's not
please
good.
don't ask. Well, yes, it's different. Okay.
Okay, understood.
It's a challenge. So we were conserving water, so we might not had a shower for 2 weeks, but there were other ways of keeping each other decent. No
Licking each other?
sunlight.
Is it that sort of...
I don't know. Okay, I'm not
Like cats?
I'm not native speaker.
I'm sorry, Kate.
I was in charge of everyone's safety and health, and I was like,
You stink. Like that.
Matt, definitely, you went longer when you went to Glastonbury that first time. Do you remember?
Well,
It was
yeah,
at least 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, did anyone discover the roadie shower?
no. Well, no, we're all good. So we had techniques that astronauts probably use, or everyone who is in confined space uses, to conserve water, to make the ecosystem as efficient as it can be. And then we had regular exercise. Obviously, you can't go out. There's not too much space, but you can still keep fit. So we had, luckily, our commander, she was a qualified yoga teacher. So as a team building activities, we had yoga every morning.
Wow.
And sometimes wasn't nice.
Oh.
So yes, and then we had breakfast together, and then we ran a set of experiments together. So each of us had responsibilities, like on ISS. So we had hydroponics, we had our pets, which were cockroaches and worms and crickets. Yes. So we.
What kind of pets are there? I mean.
Yes. So, they're pets that it's hard to keep alive.
Oh, but
Yeah.
baby worms are cute, right?
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
With their little eyes.
Take 'em for
wiggly
walks.
bodies.
in meteorite soil, they're not happy worms.
Oh,
to be
no,
honest.
yeah.
Well, I can't tell more because I'm not involved in that experiment, but apparently it was interesting for someone to know why they live for a certain period of time and what happens and why it happens.
Okay, let me ask you. Alicia was talking about loneliness Was there any feeling of loneliness within the group?
So it was a very interesting team dynamics that we had because we didn't know each other beforehand, but I think the fact that we all love space, well, bonded us, and we had mandatory team time together, so every week evening we would sit down and watch a sci-fi movie about space. And out of 5 of us, I think there's only one person who, well, he wasn't particularly happy, but it got better with time. So he got an acquired taste for sci-fi movies because there was no other option.
What kind of movies are we talking about?
So Expanse.
Okay.
We were trying to watch Expanse every evening or so. We seen Arrival. You know, about the communication.
See, you liked that.
I love that. You hated it.
I hated it.
We have
Sorry.
basically every movie we ever see. You like.
Apart from Blade Runner, we both agree on.
Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And then we watched Matrix, well, which is very
That's
not really
not a
space,
space.
no, but it's future and
Yeah, yeah.
technology, and it's a classic. So yeah, things like that. So lots of things. And in terms of loneliness, because we had to keep our outside world communication, well, we couldn't, so we had to cut everything basically. We could communicate with our lecturers or our supervisors, researching supervisors, by email, but that's about it. And it was a bit difficult because there is life outside, but actually you have the whole new life in your little moon base. So, and you have to get on with people.
So, okay, we're going to mention Dear Moon coming up, which I know we're both pretty excited by. But if you had to give any advice, having been through this, to the artists and astronauts going up, what would you say is the big tips?
Don't go.
No. Definitely go.
Don't go with someone who doesn't like sci-fi movies. Could be one.
Okay, you put me on the spot. I don't have good advice. I'm full of bad advice.
That's all right. That's all right too.
Yeah. Being honest with people, I think it's important. So if something is wrong, you say what bothers you, and then you can work all together to fix it. Because if something is wrong and you don't communicate, well, people are not mind readers. So luckily we had an amazing team, and everything worked out so well. So I made great friends, hopefully lifelong friends now. And we were all very different, but we all learned something from each other, and it was great.
And if you could, would you join the Dear Moon mission?
Absolutely. I don't know much about it, but it sounds great. How long does it take?
You have
It's
to
about
be
5 days,
you have to be an
isn't it?
artist. Yeah, about 5 days.
It's
Now?
only 5 days.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so artistic. I just
Exactly.
discovered it right now.
We'll let Elon know.
Oh, because you've been in high.
So yeah, 5 days is good.
5 days, yeah.
Yeah. So you were telling us because obviously you talked about this before you went in, before you popped in. So your experiment, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, was to see if you could operate remote telescopes from the moon.
Yes.
So how did that go?
Well, it was very interesting experience because I had to communicate with my crew commander to arrange time because it's a 6-hour slot. So we had to move my schedule around because every day we had a fixed schedule for every team member to follow. So that day when I actually got the slot from the telescope people, we had EVAs. So it was a bit busy day already, and I had to talk to her and explain that things happen and we had to rearrange it, and I had to stay most of the night awake, and I didn't sleep very well for the rest 3 hours that I had, and the team had to support me, and yes, it is possible. The answer is possible, but it's harder than it looks.
Yeah. So you did actually get some really
Yes.
useful data from that
Yes,
from that
I
experience.
did.
Yeah.
I did. But to my surprise, actually, I was running a few more experiments. So I was handed over some other research from other people from the previous missions. So the workload was a lot heavier than I expected, or I don't know what I expected, to be honest. I think from the conversation we had before, I didn't know what to expect. So we just showed up, and there was lots of data collection. There were lots of tasks that we had to perform, including EVAs, which is extra-vehicle activities.
Matt knows all about it.
Yeah,
Yes.
we talked
Yeah.
all about
So
it.
we would put our spacesuits on and do all the checks, and we had special protocol to follow, and it takes time. It takes time and effort, even though you're performing something really simple, but with all the bulky equipment, it becomes quite challenging.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Did you actually start to hate your spacesuit?
Well, we wish that we could wash it maybe, or like,
Yeah.
no, not in the sense, but like moon dust. We had moon dust issue, so it exists, even on
Yeah.
imaginary moon. So yes, and it's very different experience.
So,
Like,
are there any other projects that you've got coming up in the next sort of few months that you can talk about, or?
Well, I will be applying to participate in some projects, but I'm also gonna be, I hope to work with the same Lunaris and their managing company, Space is More. I hope to work more with them to maybe create some improvements of the existing simulation, because it's a great foundation. They have great facilities there. It just can get better, isn't it? There's always possibility to become something bigger.
That's inspiration for us all, I think, isn't it, Matt?
Absolutely. Is anyone out in the audience want to ask Kate a question? Yes, Eric.
Eric.
How did you get on with this program?
I think I knew one of the organizers, yes. So I've met Agata Kaldashuk, who was science director at the moment. And I thought, oh, she's doing something interesting. I want to join in. And luckily, I did. So for some bizarre reason, I was suitable. And actually, I'm surprised that it worked out very well.
Any other questions? Yes.
I was wondering what the actual habitats looked like from both the inside and outside, and also how you simulated the lunar surface.
Yes, so on our Facebook page, which is called Learn Mission, there are lots of photos, but it was like a modular kind of environment, which, it does remind you of something that it's artificial. It's artificial environment. So we had a pod where we had our kitchen and eating facilities. We had a pod with our 3D printing and other equipment. We had our hydroponics and biolab with some stuff. And we had a separate thing there where we slept. We had like a bunk bed situation.
Okay.
So yeah, it was different. So it's not like a just normal house where you live, and at least it looked different.
Right.
And we had special lighting that you could adjust to create some moods, I think. So it was quite useful. So you could make everything look very spacey. Yes, thank you. Yes, and the moon. So there was like the special made moon simulation in a hangar. So it was a big area that the company made quite realistic, to be honest. It was really interesting.
Okay.
And it was always dark. So using just a head torch, trying to perform some tasks.
Was there any reason why you had to be kept in the dark? Because it's not dark on the lunar surface.
Not always, but you know what? It just creates something else.
Okay.
It just, yeah.
We have one more question from our lonely boy in the middle.
Yeah.
Hey, lonely boy.
Well, now, did you have to walk in slow motion to simulate one
Very good question.
It's just an interesting question because with all the bulky equipment that we had, with boots and few layers of suits, it's hard to be fast. It really is. We actually had Moon Olympics where we had to perform some jumping and running, and I think everyone hated it because first of all the surface is uneven, so they created it in a way that it's not just plain regular. It has like hills, and you run in your big massive shoes and you think, nope, that's not running, that's just sad.
Okay, I think that's all we've got time for. Please, big round of applause for Kate.
The Interplanetary Podcast. Oh,
It's getting
yes,
better.
This is getting better.
Really
It's
is.
because they're getting more drunk. Because we're going.
Matt, who's that guy at the giving
At the
the
bottom.
the piggyback? Who is that? What did you say? Elon Musk. Drink. Now, does anyone know the name of the person who's on his shoulders?
He's a rich guy.
He's very rich. He's a billionaire, yes. Anyone know his name? It is Yusaka Muzawa.
His name's something with a Y.
Saka Muzawa.
And hands up, anyone hasn't heard of Dear Moon? Really? Okay. Well, Matt, do you want to briefly explain?
Well, yeah, it would seem that this guy has got so much money, he's convinced Elon Musk to let him ride his rocket, the BFS, which flies up on a BFR, round the moon in 2022, 2023 or something like that. And he's going to take a bunch... yeah, right. He's going to take a bunch of artists with him. That's the whole idea. He's going to take a whole bunch of artists to go around the moon. So I've got a question for you all. If you were going to take an artist round the moon, who would you take?
Who would you choose? You've got one.
You've each got one. Go, we've got one.
Paul McCartney.
You take
Good.
one.
Good, yeah.
You don't think he might be a little bit old for space flight?
No.
He's like a great granddad.
John Glenn went up at 79.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
Macca's
yeah.
going up. Macca's on board.
Macca's on board.
Who else? Chris?
Can they be dead?
They
Yeah.
can be dead, yes.
Bowie.
Bowie.
Of course.
Oh,
Of course.
It's so annoying.
Anyone else?
I'll
Yes.
take my wife.
You take your wife. Ah. Is she an artist?
Take my wife.
She is an artist. Matt.
No, seriously, take my wife.
Take my wife, please. He's had a beer.
So-
Any other artists?
We should probably take Steve, actually.
Yes.
Okay.
Who?
Yeah, definitely.
Steve, look at it. Look at how,
There we
look
go.
at
Look
how
how
excited. He's very
excited he is.
excited.
Now, Matt, to reverse that, who would we want to go up if we knew the mission was going to fail?
Blow up.
Sounds horrible, but hey,
I know.
I'm
I know
horrible
this is a
guy,
bit morbid.
So, Trump, we have Trump.
Trump,
yeah,
we've got
no,
Trump. Trump's on
no-brainer.
board. Who else? I know. Who?
Gove, Boris,
Gove,
they're
Gove.
on. Yeah.
Amazingly, we put Farage, Boris, and Gove. They're there.
Matt, don't read out the.
Oh yes, and
That was our personal notes.
We're creating the B arc here, aren't we?
yeah.
Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide.
Oh yeah, Mr. Worldwide, Pitbull. He is an artist.
You'd be really.
I was going to send Bono. Who's up for Bono?
Yeah, Bono.
Bono, definitely.
Stupid.
So, what does everyone think? What does everyone think of Musk sending artists around the moon? Anyone think?
Drink.
It's a drink. It's a drink. Okay, fair
He's
enough.
just selling a rocket, right?
He is just selling a rocket, right?
This is business.
Yeah.
And would anyone like to hazard a guess? By the way, I don't know the answer to how much this Japanese businessman has paid to take a bunch of artists and himself.
Paying a deposit. He's going to be paying more over the next.
Do you know how much that might be in
They
total?
are not saying.
What do you reckon, Jerry?
Oh, it's got to be a few hundred million.
Yeah, I've heard 200 million. That's what I heard. Was roughly what they reckoned it must be.
Seems cheap.
Yeah. That's what he's saying. But then he has gone. But then Musk has gone mad. So we should mention Elon Musk. He's actually now almost on the verge of being arrested for fraud. And the worst thing is, like, obviously we're massive Elon Musk fanboys, right?
Yes.
And we love Elon Musk.
He's great. It's annoying. Everyone's like, oh, he smoked pot. Come on.
Yeah.
You know?
Poor old Elon Musk.
Hey, Matt, we should mention Edgar Mitchell.
Yes.
Because we want, if we do send a politician up, wouldn't it be great for them to just look at the Earth and say,
yeah, what did he say?
Look at that, you son of a bitch.
That's right, Edgar Mitchell. Look at that, you son of a bitch. Absolutely.
Now, Matt, in the notes here, you've written Willy Wonka Golden Ticket, and it's the only thing that I don't know what you mean.
Willy Wonka, because I reckon you could raise the money for the BFR by having like a golden ticket somewhere. Yeah, because it's like Willy Wonka all over again.
Do you think there would be another case of fraud there somehow?
No, because no. It worked in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I don't see why it won't work in this particular
Matt,
instance.
you know that was a film, don't you?
No, it's a documentary.
Come here. It's okay. Show's over. Yeah, that is so exciting.
Do you know what I put in the notes, which was a little bit depressing when I just read it just then?
Go on.
Where it's like, is the reason why we're sending artists to the moon? It's because there's no more science to be done there.
Oh, man. Surely not.
No, okay. So, no, I think it's a great idea. I think sending a bunch of artists, because Alicia actually said this earlier on, space flight's a little bit boring sometimes when it's just a bunch of astronauts going on a truck up to the International Space Station.
So
maybe like sending a bunch of crazy, nutty artists up would be really good.
It would be quite interesting.
And actually, if you send Bono, you might write better songs.
Exactly. He might actually do something decent that he hasn't done for 30 years. First two albums are great, but I'm actually, my vote...
Wait a minute, did you say Bowie or...
Bono.
Thank God, because I was about to flip the desk. I said Bono. We're friends again.
Yeah. I want Jodie Foster, of course, would be a good one, because she utters the
one
famous...
we both agreed on, Matt.
Yeah, she utters the famous line, "They should have sent poets."
Where was she from?
North Yorkshire.
We both agree that they should send David Lynch.
David Lynch.
Imagine the kind of... Maybe he'd come back and make just a normal, unconfusing thing.
What about Brian Blessed?
Gotta send Brian up, haven't we?
That's it. Brian
Let's
Blessed.
have a round of applause for our favourite podcast guest ever, Brian Blessed, please.
Done here as well. Done here. What an absolute...
The Interplanetary Podcast!
Yes.
This is so panto now, I love it.
Yeah. I've only got one...
No, it isn't.
Good. There's only one more.
asked for that.
There's only one more guest I would send, and I have to say it's William Shatner. That's who I want to send into space. The
Definitely.
Shatner. I was going to bore everyone and do this kind of, look at this spaceship, this is what it looks like now, and look, it's got massive fins at the back, and they're going to help it slow down in the atmosphere of Mars, and they're also its landing legs.
Is that your nerd voice?
Yes, it's
or
my
just
nerd
trying to-
voice.
Okay.
It's but then I realised, actually, the design's going to change again, because it's
Yeah.
changed like every year that he's done
They're
it,
probably
so-
going to put the Interplanetary Podcast on the side of it. That should be the last time we do that.
Okay. So yes, a massive piece of news this week that came out. Tori Bruno, and I have to say, Tori Bruno. If you haven't watched this video, Tori Bruno is on Smarter Every Day, and he allows the guy from Smarter Every Day to have a go travelling on the moving gantry that covers the Delta IV Heavy, and it's absolute. And you realise that Tori Bruno is an absolute legend. But Tori Bruno has literally gone to Amazon and bought the BE4 rocket engine for the next ULA launcher, and that is like super huge news in the space industry, because it's
Has he got Amazon Prime, or would he just get a free delivery?
So
how does it work?
Look at this. Look at these poor look at these poor buggers in the Amazon warehouse. Oh no! Oh, in the Amazon warehouse, how much of a pain in the ass is
How do
that
you
to
package
deliver?
that?
That is a lot of
It's
cardboard.
a lot of bubble wrap, isn't it?
Also in the news, this chap,
Yes.
Matthias Mora, who look where he is, Jamie. We've been there, haven't we?
Yeah,
the
we
European
have.
Astronaut Training
Bang.
Centre, and he trained with Tim Peake, and he's officially been made an astronaut. So we have a new European astronaut.
Congratulations,
Yes.
Matthias.
And he actually, at one point, went to the University of Leeds.
Did he?
Yeah. Went to
Do you want to do your Yorkshire accent again?
No.
No.
I don't want to do it. And we should also mention another super huge British success story, and that was this removed debris space net. Am I going to dare play this video and see if it works? Because it's pretty epic.
Matt, it's working.
It is working, but I'm gonna go over here where it fires out a little tiny satellite, and then this is the first time ever that someone successfully tried to do something about space debris, and that was built weirdly in Guildford, where all of us are from. The band and myself all met in Guildford, and that satellite is made in Guildford, and it's a remarkable piece of. It's absolutely genius, and it's got a few more experiments to go. It's got a little harpoon to go and a few other things, but it's Europe's first real proper attempt at trying to sort out the debris problem.
Big up removed debris. Let's have a round of applause for it. I mean, why not? We're all about eco.
It's a kind of unsung space story, which leaves us one last thing to do, and that is space fact of the week. That's it, and then you can all go home and go, thank God.
Thank God that's
Right. So we're back to Gaia, and we're only back to Gaia because we've got daughter of Gaia here, and so I thought it'd be fitting to
That
say.
sounded very Marvel, Matt.
Yes, it was daughter of Gaia. And they will be playing out with a few songs. Oh, actually, get this. Jerry passed me a piece of paper. Were you aware, Malati, that when you were doing the Set the Controls for the Heart of the Sun, a tribute to Parker Solar Probe, no doubt, were you aware that it was actually right now having its 50th anniversary as a song?
True
It's a
dare.
true story, released in 1968, of course. The year of Apollo 8. So here we go.
Shall we do some Gaia facts?
Gaia facts.
Okay, check this one out.
So this is a picture by Gaia, but
This is
if
a
you
pic.
actually look, it's not just noise on there. Every single tiny speck is a star that Gaia has photographed, measured its movement and everything else. So Gaia is going to observe 1 billion stars 70 times over 5 years. So that's an average of 40 million observations a day.
Matt, I liked how you said million.
Million.
So Matt, 1 billion stars amounts to about 1% of the stars populating the Milky Way. You like that?
Yeah.
Anyone like that?
1 billion
Yeah.
is 1% of the Milky Way. And of
You know when Matt likes something because his voice does that.
Get this. And out of that billion stars, Gaia is going to measure the distance of 99% of them with extreme accuracy. So it's going to be the greatest map of the galaxy ever achieved. Well, I've got a question from... Have we got...
Subscribe.
It's what?
Subscribe to the YouTube.
Yeah, you know, that's good advice. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you didn't know we have one.
We should actually do a shout out to all the patrons as well that have been
please.
that basically helped pay for all this and the booze and the snacks.
I mean, if you
and
didn't
sound
know,
engineer
guys,
and
you can
stuff.
actually give us money for the podcast.
Not you guys.
You look so happy.
Some of you do actually.
Yeah,
Some we have patrons in the room.
That's very true.
That's absolutely
Shout out, hands up if
legendary.
you're a patron. There we go. God bless you all.
Obviously,
you can join those hands up.
Yeah, you can join. There's loads of patrons in the room. But most importantly, go to iTunes and subscribe. Give us a nice 5-star rating. That does the best thing ever. And yeah, we've been streaming this on YouTube. We've got a pathetic YouTube subscription at the moment. So maybe you could subscribe on that. Just push it hard now and do it.
We're getting a smashing 10 viewers.
Smashing 10.
Viewers, yes.
3 likes,
Yeah,
10
that's-
viewers.
Well, that almost doubles our subscribers on YouTube. So here we go. The Interplanetary Podcast. So we're going to bring the band back on.
Bring the band back.
And they're going to...
one more
Let's
time.
escape, Jamie, so we can watch this from the back. Ladies and gentlemen, Mardy.
Ground control to Major Tom. Thank you very much.
I can't think of a better way to end. So thank you so much to the band. Thank you to the Blitz. Thank you for big round of applause to the band and the BR. Thank you, Steve and everyone else. Yeah, and if anyone wants a quick drink, in there I'm serving Iron Brew and Southern Comfort Black. Classic! A classic new thing. That's all we've got left. It's our new Space Brew. Question on the back?
I'm going to kick off a space simulator.
And a space simulator? What more do you guys want? Come on! We didn't advertise this. So while we pack down...
Matt, tell them. Dock the Soyuz capsule to the International Space Station.
Dock it.
Go on.
Do it, dock it. Everyone's opening. Life is not complete until you've tried a bit of docking. I have no idea why they're laughing. Yeah, don't Google it.
So,
while we
back
pack
down, why don't you do it? Sorry.
And, you know, this, Matt, 100 episodes.
Yes.
100 episodes. It's so cool. So we've been working on the handshake for weeks. But no, it feels bizarre, and thanks. We're pretty surprised that anyone listens. So this is wicked. So thanks for listening, and that's it. Cheers.